President Trump and world leaders signed a ceasefire deal for Gaza.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for.
The president's remarks follow the release of 20 remaining living hostages from Gaza to Israel.
They also handed over 4 coffins with the remains of dead hostages, and this is the first stage of that deal.
Tia Ewing is here with reactions. Tia.
A lot of positivity surrounding this one. A positive day for so many Israeli families. For more than 2 years, they were without so many of their loved ones following the October 7th attack. They finally got the chance to reunite with some of those who were held captive by Hamas, and it led to some emotional reunions. You can hear it and you can see that emotion. Each hostage was handed over to the Red Cross and then transferred to Israeli forces inside Gaza before reuniting with their families. Hamas released 20 Israeli hostages along with the remains of 4 others. Very few are still alive after Hamas kidnapped more than 250 people during the October 7th attack in 2023. In exchange for the hostages, Israel released nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. The exchange happened after President Trump announced a ceasefire in the war in Gaza. Now, President Trump and dozens of other world leaders signed that peace deal during a summit in Egypt earlier today. Israel has agreed to stop attacks in Gaza as part of this agreement, and humanitarian aid is being let in. More than 60,000 people in the region have been killed since Israel launched its military campaign there 2 years ago. President Trump says the war in Gaza is over and the rebuilding process there is now underway.
Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
Reaction is pouring in from local leaders. 50th Ward Alderman Deborah Silverstein released a statement which says in part, quote, "Today my heart is overflowing with joy and relief." She goes on to say the Jewish people have always endured with strength and faith. Today we are reminded once again that the spirit of our people can never be broken. And Governor Pritzker released a statement on X which says in part, quote, "There's still much work that remains to ensure lasting peace, but the hostage release and ceasefire serve as a critical steps toward closure and hope for the future." President Trump is now on his way back to the U.S. It remains to be seen what will happen in Gaza. The U.S. is part of a committee that is figuring out who will rule in that region. Of course, this is a story we will follow closely. Sylvia and Terrence.
All right. Thank you, Tia.